everybody. My name is Rose Guwaza and I'm a music promoter, events coordinator. Let me just say, you can find me on a whole 360 in the music and event space. And with me, I'm with my colleague.
And partner. How?
Oh, yeah. And partner.
Shonisani Mulaudzi. So I do our social media and PR management and marketing in Boston.
We're an SA Zim duo.
That,
yeah. They need to know that, like, we
right.
You're from SA. Yeah, I'm proudly Zimbabwean.
I'd like to think I'm from Mashingo.
Oh, wow. Who told you about Mashingo? Wow. I'm not from Mashingo, but I don't know. She's got this thing with Mashingo. I think one day I'll take
There are great artists from there. I mean,
who do you know?
Gary Mapanzura. I enjoyed his music. So.
Okay.
Let's see.
Quite
a few. One that you've managed
I'm
as well.
actually hearing that
Gary Mapanzura.
But okay, wow.
Right, and you do. Wait, was I not playing?
Yeah, you did, but I thought it's because. But anyway, we here should like to visit Mashingo. Somebody must take it to Mashingo one of these days.
No, not necessarily Mashingo. Please, Zimbabwe as a whole.
Okay. So we're here to talk about the music space and the challenges that we get and the pros. As you know, every industry has its own pros and cons.
True.
It's been a good ride as well as a painful journey. We've experienced both sides where we've made money with the industry and we've also lost a lot of money in the industry, but it's been quite a journey for the past 10 years, right? Since 2010, 2013, we've been in this industry.
10 years.
Yeah.
Going on to 11, hopefully.
We're still here. We're not going anywhere.
Are you sure you still want to be here?
I have a passion for this. Every time I say I want to leave, but I still find myself there. Sometimes I can go for a year without doing commercial events, but that doesn't mean I've stopped doing events, because now, besides commercial events, we also do a lot of corporate. We've embraced ourselves so much in the corporate space. So we find ourselves hosting a lot of corporate events, from golf days.
Like this year is packed with more corporate than commercial events.
True.
I like to think I enjoy those more, personally.
Oh yeah, she does enjoy corporates. I really like the commercial because I have this thing for discovering artists. I always like to listen to new music and showcase new acts. Yes, I like to be one of the first people to bring new artists to South Africa. This year, quite a few people beat us to it.
True.
They beat us to it, but we won't stop.
And bringing back old ones. Okay, I'm a sucker for old Zim dancehall. She doesn't even listen to Zim dancehall.
Wow.
But that's true though.
I love Talkie Vibes. I'm an Enzo Aisha fan.
And?
What do you mean, and?
I'm waiting for you to list quite a few. I can go
to list quite a few. I'll still stick to Toki, Enzo, Killer T, Nati O, but Nati O is branching. I don't know, is he still doing Zim dancehall?
Well, it's a fusion of let's say Zim dancehall.
He's one of my best artists, one of my favorite artists though.
But he's understanding that
I'm not sure if I should still place him on Zim dancehall though.
Well, you know. Well,
but yeah, with a
plus minus.
I think those are the guys that I really would listen to. I think there's a few names that's coming up, like if you practically keep throwing Master H into my face.
Yes.
And I'm listening to Prosper for real. I'm not sure if Prosper is doing Zim dancehall or he's doing dancehall, because I've listened to a few of his music. His sound, I think, would be better if it's just not named under Zim dancehall.
So maybe I'm lost. Right, and
I love
what Zim dancehall is and what dancehall is. For me, it would just be what Zim dancehall is, dancehall in short. Or do I put artists like Dadza D onto Zim dancehall, or is it dancehall helmet style?
You see, if you know how to talk dancehall in general, I actually enjoy Kina.
Okay.
I think Kina is a very good reggae dancehall artist. I would listen to Kina. I'm not sure what's happening, but I would listen to Kina any day. Hence, Kina, Prosper. What do you mean I'm 4 artists? She still says I'm a 4 artists. Okay, let me name. Okay, so it's Enzo Aisha, it's Talkie Vibes, Prosper for Real, Kina, Killer T. Yeah, well.
You're asking me.
I love Nati. I still want to know what music he's doing now. Like what fusion
From
is
all
it?
those.
I'm still not over the Mustard Seed. I'm not over it. I love it. I play that album a lot. I even made Undependent Power my birthday theme song. So
I think
but
that
he's
from all
growing.
the artists that we've worked with as well, I really enjoyed working with Natty O. Eye-opening experience is very,
yeah, but you listen to a lot of the guys. You told me to listen to Windsor, Uncle Epperton, and all that. I like the fact that you go out there and you listen to those acts. And you come back and you told me there's now Master H, there's Boy Shona. And sometimes when I listen to them, I'm not really sure who is dancehall. Who is...
No, but Master H has
in dancehall?
Now... I think I remember explaining it to you recently. Just before his recent blow up, I guess it's good management as well. How he's separated his sounds. Whatever he performs on stage and whatever he gives the crowd in Zim is completely different to what he puts out.
Let's say I love dancehall. Don't categorize, because some of the acts that I like I don't think I'll put their music under Zim dancehall.
Alright. So in terms of promotions, rather dancehall artists, because we've worked with artists that are not from Zim, that are or fall under the category reggae and dancehall, preferably.
We've worked with Episode from Ghana. Episode graced our Shamari Sundays. It was amazing. We've worked with DJ Cosmo from Zambia. We've worked with Tay Green from Malawi. It's been a number, and we've got Buffalo Soldier under us in the house. So, and it's not Zim dancehall. Buffalo doesn't sing Zim dancehall.
I said preferably. What would you like to? People you enjoy working with. That is not Zim based.
Oh, the people that I enjoy working with that are not Zim based. Zim artist or non-Zim?
Non-Zim.
Wow. DJ Tira. I really enjoy working with Tira.
I thought you would have said Makadzi, but anyway.
Well, you'd love Makadzi. You're from Venda.
That doesn't necessarily mean I love Makadzi. You from Zim?
Yeah, but you asked me who would I... You asked me who did I enjoy. Neria is a movie, my guy. Don't get lost. Neria was a movie.
Only from Tuku's song.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but everybody loves Tuku. He's a legend.
But that's what I'm saying. I can't necessarily say you like a thing.
All right.
This is where you're from.
You asked me who would I like. Who did I enjoy? Who did I enjoy working with? I enjoyed working with Tira. He made the shoot, the collabos very easy
and fun
and fun to be. Also DJ Ngwazi, Master KG and Master KG. I enjoyed working with them, but I must say Ngwazi is fun. Ngwazi is nice to be around. And night music, but that's still like Tira's.
Yeah, it's still the same stable. I'm waiting for you to branch out, because if you're going here, that's open mic. It's we can't necessarily say open mic because Master KG is not. It's there anymore.
But
Mr.
You're throwing me on the
deep end.
My guy, there's a lot.
But I bet you if you'd ask me.
I know you've got an entire list of Zim artists. You research them. You always research and you bring them to me and you tell me, let's work with this. Let's work with these guys, because I'm always having the same lineup.
But it's what makes sense.
I get it. What do you look at when you're selecting an artist?
Me.
Her.
Okay, both.
Both, yeah. First of all, I always look out for the new releases. I'm always looking for new releases, and I see at how far it goes. What do I look at?
But yeah, you do. But you
don't
listen
when
to the first 30
artist,
seconds.
Yeah, I listen to the first 30 seconds because I believe that a person should be drawn by the first 30 seconds of a song. If you don't draw me with your first 30 seconds or the first minute of a song, Why
Yeah,
not
I
we play
believe
the rest of
different.
the song?
I believe different.
Yeah, that's why we are different.
I'll give you examples.
What do you look at?
For example, you could have a collab. I'll use Kina and Buff as an example. You have Buff on the first minutes, let's say. But what drew me to the song was Kina's verse.
I can
So-
relate to it, but the song does not. The beginning of the song alone.
The why I say Buffalo.
Why I say Buffalo and then it Kena starts and then Buffalo enters.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Different strokes for different.
Yes, different strokes for different folks.
And what has been your experience being promoters and being female?
Sheesh. People thinking they can get into your pants easily because you work with a lot of men. That's a very big factor. People thinking that everything has to be sexualized.
This industry is very, very, very difficult, and everybody thinks that just because you're female, they can even throw cash.
Oh, it's either
Throw
you've slept
offers
with someone in
to
this
you.
industry. It's either you've slept with someone
And
to
hoping
get-
that you'll sleep with them for you to get that. It's really hard, you know. So sometimes we miss certain opportunities. Or sometimes we have budgets and we have what do you call them? Events that would want to do, strategies that would have and would like to do, but we can't because our budgets are restrained. And when you approach certain individuals or certain entities that you know that they are able to assist you with that, they don't really come on board if
you can't
you know,
give them sexual favors.
if you can't
So
give them sexual favors.
it's
So that's
also
very hard.
getting judged by everyone else that you'd work with, in terms of the team that you'll get to create the show. So it's either you sleeping with someone or you've slept with someone, or you owe that person a sexual favor for you to actually get things done. So I wouldn't say it's competition much, but it's a fact of underestimating that a woman can actually get things done without opening her legs.
That's why most of our events, you'll notice that we seek more of corporate sponsorship because of us working in the corporate space. We end up seeking corporate sponsorship from some of the clients that we have from the corporate space to sponsor most of our shows, which leads us to not. That's why we don't have shows like that, because it's not easy. Without a corporate sponsor, it's not really easy, because the people that have the funds, they want you to open your pants. So
It's also coming to that. I mean, we live in a world that's now digitalized throughout, and going further in events, it makes practical sense to work with sponsors compared to not working with sponsors at all.
true.
In terms of, okay, no, that would be me giving away our strategy. But for growth in the industry as well, I mean, people have been promoting for years. Zimbabwean artists have been brought into South Africa, or South African artists being taken to Zim, but there's also a standstill point where there's no growth beyond that.
Yes.
And a lot of our, what do I say, friends, associates.
A lot of events that have happened this year, for most, where Zim artists are brought into SA, most of them haven't really been successful events. A lot. I don't know, is it because we keep bringing the same artists?
No.
Or I'm not really sure what's missing, but we need to, I think out of the box.
But that's the only problem, basically.
Because a lot of Zim-based shows have been losses throughout this year. Most of them. It's one or two.
I'll come
that you
back
can
now.
pick up and say this was a success?
I'll come back now as a person that parties during the shows while you work. Right? And say, promoters also forget the fact that the crowd that goes out every year tends to be a younger crowd.
Okay.
Yet nothing is being changed. I'll see Killer T this year, I'll see Killer T next year, I'll see Killer T the year after. He's releasing new music, yes, but it's of a similar sound. I've already been cultivated by that artist. When are you offering
So
me
you're saying we
something
need
new?
to start mixing and bringing new acts and
True.
okay, I get that. However, the artists themselves, the new upcoming young artists, are they putting their music out there?
But
What
bear in mind-
value are they bringing in? Do you understand why people would still constantly bring Killer T? Because it's like a safe space. It becomes a safe space for a promoter. They know that I bring him, I'm going to get these kind of returns. But are the young people putting value into their work? Are they pushing their work? Are they marketing their work? Are they putting it out there?
I'll come back and say, why are you not posing the same questions to your safe spaces? Because given an example, you'll book that safe artist, but that same artist has a very weak album. So how are you guaranteed that whatever you actually, or whichever artist you're actually booking will actually return your money? If it's for money purposes,
It's based, hence aside, the certain artists that get brought back, it's based on the history you have, past experience you have. It's very hard to try new artists. I'll give you an example with
But
you.
that's what
when we first brought Turkey Vibes, we were the first one to bring Turkey Vibes here.
yes.
When we brought Turkey Vibes, people were not sure if that was going to be a success or not.
Or not.
And we took a leap of faith and brought Turkey. And the event was packed. People had to turn back. So it goes back to our promoters willing to take that chance,
leap of faith.
that leap of faith, the same leap of faith we've been doing with certain artists. Our promoters willing to take that leap of faith on the young upcoming artists. At the same time, are the young artists putting their work out there?
They are. I personally see it as a person who lives in their social media box. But they are not given platforms to increase further.
It takes money to go further. Are they
How so?
willing? You see, your platforms are. All I'm saying is, right now, the world is evolving,
True,
right?
but-
the world is evolving, and as much as we would like, or I would think would like to book most of these artists, some of them don't portray themselves. Image is important. Branding is important. How are these young artists branding themselves?
Yeah, in terms
How are they
of
putting
working
themselves out there?
with
Because if, for example, we are working with sponsors right now,
trade, that's what
if we want to take an artist, if we want to go to a sponsor and say we would like to bring artist A, B, C, they're going to check at the artist's socials, they're going to check at the artist's look, the artist's brand, and they're going to ask themselves, do they want to associate themselves with that brand?
True.
Which is why they end up going back to the established brands, because it's also a safe space for the sponsor.
Okay.
So the work is not only with promoters, but the work is also with the artists themselves.
But are you also, as a promoter, making yourself accessible to the upcoming artists? So I'll give you, if I were to give you examples of a few artists that are not established but present themselves well. I'll still go back to Master AG. I'll come back and say before management as well, he was a good artist. And I've been ranting and raving for the past 3 years about Master H.
Okay, I can just come and say a Master H fan, just like you.
I'm a fan of his music. Yes, the message in his music, I love it.
Okay.
What is being done with him right now, applauds to his management in terms of rebranding, reshifting, having different music to listen to. That is good. So I would say, as a promoter, if you were to book him, you have 2 different spaces to book him.
Okay.
Someone that can be associated with your brands, but are you making it accessible enough for him to reach out and say, okay, I would like the platform that you present.
Takes money. to book? Are they being reasonable? Are the upcoming artists reasonable? Do you know some? Okay, are the prices these upcoming artists charging reasonable for us to bring them? Because it takes a lot to pull up a good show. It takes a lot to pull up a good team. There's security involved. There is the marketing itself. There is the hospitality part, accommodation, flights. Then there's their performance fee and all. When one does their budgets and they do their due diligence, they check will that artist bring that back. If I'm not gonna get that money back, I won't book that artist. We'll then go again to look at, okay, who will bring me money back? Mm-hmm. Who will I at least break even? Because
so if you're breaking even, is it still about you doing what you have a passion for and that still makes you money, or is it just about doing it?
You see, it's a very tough space to be in, being this promotion in this promotion game, because firstly, for like when we did Royal Women in Pride, it came from a space of passion.
True. And not about
Royal Women in Pride was from a space of passion. It was, we would like to do this. We would like to do this for women, right? So at that point, we didn't look at what are the process. You understand? Sure. But when we are to looking at promotions as a business, you have to look at what are the returns if I bring in this act. All I'm saying is the upcoming acts need to put more effort in their brand, in their image. They need to make their music to be accessible and to be able to be played beyond the borders of Zimbabwe.
Also consider rebranding as an artist. Because there are a lot of artists that are beautifully talented but are stuck under the wrong genre, I would say, personally. There's a lot of lost talent in them. But yeah, and do you still think promotions are viable? I know we've had this conversation.
I think at some point in time, there was once upon a time where promoting music and artists was something that we could really get good returns from. But right now, to be honest with you, right now in SA, if anybody has a little bit of cash, they think they can promote. We're at a stage where artists think they can be promoters. DJs think they can be promoters. I would like to say, I once had a talk with Lion Paul. Lion Paul was like, if we all could understand that if you're a DJ, focus on DJing. If you're an artist, focus on singing, on being an artist. And if you're an advanced promoter or if a promoter, focus on promoting. That way, we are not clashing in each other's zones. Now we're at a point where, because someone can sing, they've got a certain amount of budget, they come into your space and they are promoting. So there's a vast number of promoters now.
You can't necessarily say your space.
Okay, they come in the promotion space.
It's an industry that grows. There'll be promoters younger than you that come in.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is sometimes it becomes a mess when an artist...
When it's not competitive between the artist and the
promoters. There's nothing wrong with young people coming into the promotion space and wanting to promote. But it becomes chaotic when someone who's supposed to be performing on stage is the promoter. What happens when the security is messing up and the promoter is the one singing on stage? What happens? What happens when there's an emergency and the DJ is the promoter and is the one playing? People want to be paid.
Hi, Rose Shonisani Mulaudzi. As South African, I got this Shona ne Zim dancehall, or should I say dancehall? If I said that right, but yeah, basically I learned most of my Shona from music because I enjoyed Zim dancehall from your Soldier Love times, your Say Colors, to name a few. And yeah, I then branched out deep into Zim music, so much so that I don't think most Zimbabweans consume the music as much as I do. But listening to both, I guess, Zim music and South African music, and working with both artists, I've also learned to work that there's a huge gap in terms of the marketing of the music from either sides. If I were to advise, I would say Zim artists would need to copy a few strategies used by South Africans. I remember not so long ago we had a studio session with Toki Vibes and Mr. Camera. And I remember having a conversation with him. I think a lot of Zim artists were not yet on the platform, which is TikTok. And I remember advising him that, look, TikTok right now is as good as, this is what, a year ago, 2 years ago?
It was last year.
Was it?
It was last year.
It's as good as Google right now. Everything and anything you would search for, you find on TikTok. If you'd want a song to be easily accessible or reach 1,000 people in a couple of minutes, it would be on TikTok. And I'm glad to see this year that most of his songs were TikTok challenges. Even though he gets just as to how many projects he releases. I saw an article today actually that spoke about how much he releases so many songs and not one hit. Difference is that, or they didn't understand that he released a song for each and every type of person. So he didn't have a specific target market as he is.
You see why I like Toki?
Favoritism.
Not even. When you talk about socials and the artists being on social, I think the issue also that we have is Muslim artists focus on Facebook. They focus on Facebook and they release their albums on WhatsApp. Yes, it's not everybody that's on Vivo.
I'll come back and say.
That's now yes, they are now putting it on Vivo, on YouTube,
but still,
Spotify,
what's the use of
and all that?
The artist leaking?
But some of them leak their work. We've come to say that. But I'll give an example of how I saw how Enzo penetrated into the South African market. Like a lot of university students who actually did the Siggy.
It's because of
TikTok challenge. So if some of the other artists can join in that, I think it will also help.
No, but it also comes back to the music that they're creating. Are they creating music that opens up to it being a challenge? Do people relate to it? It does not necessarily have to be Zimbabweans relating to the songs.
Yes. But that was the thing with Siggy, right? Hence I gave the example of Siggy. It's because Siggy, yeah. It's because a lot of other nationalities beyond Zimbabwe joined the Siggy challenge. You understand? They joined, and that's how Enzo joined his. Most of them got to know. Like a lot of university students speak about that. So I think they also need to look at those platforms as well to put themselves out there.
Our problem is that they still don't, and it's also not just the social media platforms, but also having a strategy as to releasing their music entirely. Because I think
about your side of like PR.
Yeah, because PR works hand in hand with you coming to Kambook. I mean, you say yourself that I come back to you and show you, hey, here's an act, 1, 2, 3, or they've done this, they've done that. They reach on socials or how good their music is moving. I think I track that through their social media, their streams, and so forth. This is all digital, and nothing to do with people that know their work.
It's also I think collabos help. I would like to think also if our Zim artists can also get into collaborating with other nationalities, it will also help. But most of the management for some of these big acts, before an artist collaborates with them, we go back to PR. They ask and check that artist's socials, they check the artist's work, and most people don't want to deal with artists that don't have management. I think that's one thing artists need to know.
But
Like,
how many Zim artists have now? Because this I know for sure. Zim artists say they have managers, but they still manage themselves.
It's something they need to look into.
Do they really understand the significance of having a manager?
Maybe a workshop needs to be done to actually teach people what is a manager, what is the booking agent, what is the PR agent. I don't know, but I think we need to start taking music as a business. They need to start taking their music as a business for promoters to be able to go out there and also pick them so that promoters don't keep booking the same people. And then it looks like we are just stuck in one place.
Okay. I'll also come back to
they need to be educated.
What's this? My media houses in Zim. I think because also it's for this side, if I were to compare South Africa and Zim,
it has a lot of media houses.
No, but the media houses actually take their work seriously.
So what you're saying, you're saying media houses in Zim don't take their work seriously?
Most of media houses that I've seen, from what I remember, I am not Zimbabwean or anything, but what I've seen, majority of them have turned their columns into gossip columns more than they are for promotional work. So if I am, as a South African, and I don't know anything, and I'm being told, okay, there's an artist, let's say randomly my friends are like, let's go see this artist perform, and I am searching, the first thing I bump into is stupid gossip before I'll actually get access to the artist's work.
So you're saying the media houses are contributing as well?
They are gossip columns. I can't even call them media houses. Not, in all honesty.
Okay. I think maybe something to look into.
If there's only one...
They should also look into it. But you also understand that gossip sells, just like sex sells.
Gossip sells, sex sells, but what then happens to what you're trying to build? We are saying music is a business. And it is not an entity that works solely. There are parties. In as much as PR would need media houses. So even if you were to have a serious PR person, serious manager,
serious booking agent,
but
the media houses, okay,
they will release your project. The next morning, post your gossip, which has more views, more focus than your project.
Okay, I guess.
So it's more push of gossip. We get celebrities and we push gossip, and people being turned into celebrities while they shouldn't. But anyway.
Wow, that's an interesting topic.
No, but there are a lot here. No, I swear.
Okay, I think, wow. Okay, that's a sensitive one.
Well, yeah, I guess.
It's just like in the promotion space, like I said, artists are becoming promoters. DJs are becoming promoters. What then do we do? If the artist is coming and they're promoting themselves, that means they don't need us. They can do it themselves.
Then allow them to.
You know?
Well, but that's not such a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing, but it's messing up the narrative. It's messing up because now there's a lot of what you call it? Not loopholes. There's a lot of space. There's a lot of things that fall apart.
Do you believe in that?
They come because some artists. It's not every artist who went to business school. It's not every artist who has a marketing degree. It's not every artist who understands business, project management. But they come with the space that I am the act. So I'm the one bringing in the money. So instead of me being booked, I'm going to do the show and I'm going to take the money. It becomes about the money. It's not even about pulling. Some of the shows that artists have done themselves, they haven't pulled good shows. It might be a packed show, but it doesn't mean that it was a well-arranged show. That's where you end up...
be well-arranged.
You end up seeing events, you end up seeing the narrative which comes to people saying, kumasho kwema zimba kunorgiwa. Kumasho kwema zimba kunorgiwa. it comes from that space where, because the person is coming with a I'm making the money, it's about the money. The security is not really in check. You're flying from Zim, you're coming here, you don't reside here, you're coming to do a show here, to take your gates, you take your money and leave. Right?
As I said, I'm usually the one that's partying, right?
And leave, but
from the partier's perspective, it's
Okay.
mostly I'm not experiencing anything different. I would rather go to my piano because it's a different log drum. Here, it's either helmet or we'll go from low to hey, then finish. Next artist comes on stage, it's still the same thing. Right now, there's a trend, right? Live performances are beautiful. Bands are beautiful. But almost every Zimbabwean artist has a band right now.
Even some that are not yet ready. Even when the bands are not ready, they're
It works on different stages. Band performances work on different stages with different crowds. And not a lot of people have established that. They're just artists that move the people, I guess, and the crowd with the band. And there are some artists that work better
with a backtrack.
Sure.
Yeah, just like there's live performing stage artists and there's studio artists.
Yeah, but a lot of promoters don't actually look into that. Perform, I get my money, you go, I
It's a story for another day.
So yeah.
I guess there's a lot just to be on.
It's the education part of it, I think.
That's why I say the workshop is needed. I think a workshop
How many
is
people
needed.
do you think
I think
will
a
come?
workshop is needed, with not just for promoters and artists and people that have an
Did
interest.
you follow the anti-drug
that have an interest
campaign?
in this industry that
Did you follow the anti-drug campaign?
I have, but sometimes you notice that some of the people that are doing the anti-drugs are the
ones-
users.
No, I'm not against it. That part. You
Are
need
the users.
It turns out police officers, that's why they're private detectives, right? Because they need to get into the role to be able to source out the people that are doing it. That's despite the fact you are running a campaign to teach people to stay off of drugs.
With the ones that are using.
Do you get?
I think okay, the concept is good.
But how many people are
say
listening?
no to drugs? The concept is really good. The only issue I have is when the person that's using is the one who is.
The person that's selling is the one.
Or the person that's selling or the person that's using is the same person that's anti-drug, So what are you teaching me? Because today I see you're anti-drug, tomorrow I see you using.
But my
Where are
question
we
was,
going?
how many people are listening?
They are not listening because the users and the distributors are the ones in the forefront.
Which we'll come back to. If you say promoters and artists, right? Artists would look at the fact that, or they think they're being used by promoters. Because I'm an artist, I'm a
the
brand.
one bringing the money.
You can never understand what it takes to be me, for me to get into studio, give you what I think makes you money.
Which is why I'm saying our industry, when we started, we asked what is the challenges that we're getting in the promotion space as promoters. What is the challenge you get? That becomes the challenge. When the artist want
you put
to
it
be
in a
promoters.
nice way. Unfortunately, I'm very rude, and I'll say a lot of people become pompous.
Yes, they do as they grow.
Yeah.
But that's where the issue is. Either the artist now wants to be the promoter, or somebody have come from wherever they come from, they have their money and they want to promote.
Yes,
They want to do a show.
the artist just feels that they are too big to work with a certain person, which I do not understand, because music promotion works hand in hand with the marketing of the artist. Them traveling adds to the crowd that listens to them. People invite each other. and so forth.
Personally, besides the workshop, I think promotions would become easier and artists' music would go far if artists are actually to collaborate with promoters. Be it on a 50-50 basis, be it we collaborate. Advertise the events that you booked for.
Or putting to the test, I also believe in the fact, from a PR's perspective, that an artist should know their worth. So I do know, and I've seen in the promotional space where the artist takes their takings and the event manager will manage their event from the inside. So if the artist sees what kind of money they would make, they would then start charging realistic amounts.
Yeah, we've done such an exercise. Oh, there's a couple of artists who've done this exercise with, where we've gone into a space where we partnered with them and they taking a percentage from the gate takings or from the event. That was the only way we could show them their value, show them the number they bring, because sometimes the artists overvalue.
Yes, I've
They
got
overprice, they
500,000
overcharge.
streams.
Until you put them.
So they
Okay.
assume that 500,000 people are actually going to come out and watch them, and it's not like that. Everyone wants a good song to drive to work to drive to the garage to. And not everyone wants to see those songs live.
In short, I just think if artists can collaborate with promoters and reach certain agreements which don't leave promoters bankrupt, because somebody comes, they take the money, they go, and that's why a lot of promoters are suffering. That's why maybe you can say the standards are going down. It's because a lot of promoters, some of them sacrifice the money that they would have made from whatever other jobs they do. And I don't like the fact that right now people are saying the music industry doesn't pay. A lot of promoters, a lot of event organizers are saying the music industry doesn't pay. I don't think the music industry doesn't pay. I think the industry pays. We've just been going about it in the wrong way. I really think it's time for the talent out there, be it an artist, be it a dancer, be it a DJ, be it an MC, to also understand and meet the people that's booking them and meet the promoters halfway.
But I think for also it to be a realistic version or vision financially is something that it will come back to my question of trademarking. Why haven't we trademarked our ideas? Anyway, because that's a very important aspect, seeing as to how many people will try. Sabotage is very real in our industry.
Oh yes,
so people
without
sabotage.
name calling, yeah, we've given ideas. We've even been part of projects that just before it takes off, they stop contacting you, and the next thing, what you actually proposed on paper is being done, and you can literally see that that's me.
I was coming to this.
It was a learning cave. It's a very strenuous industry.
No, but it's
1 minute.
Yeah. It's a very strenuous industry, especially for us, for females. And it's not easy being a woman, being a mother in this industry. It's very
you
hard.
can't use the mother card.
I'm not throwing the mother card. I'm saying it's not easy. Yes, it's a choice. It's not easy.
We decided we are going to go into a whole pool
full of men. All I'm saying is sometimes it gets overwhelming, and that's the reality of it.
True.
Sometimes it gets overwhelming. Sometimes men throw their muscles. It's not even about sexual issues now. Sometimes men throw their muscles and they want you to shut up because they are men. So it's a constant fight that we have, where we keep fighting for a seat, fighting for a space.
Attacked. Those are things you come across.
Yeah, you get attacked.
People that threaten you, try to attack you physically. Yeah,
it happens. So you need to be mentally and emotionally strong, and a good support system helps.
With a backbone.
A good support system helps.
True.
earGROUND. New voices amplified. earGROUND. earGROUND. Keep your ears on